We about to jump this off, go to this radio show. About to go to our first radio show. We about to pump up Jesus. I just started taping. Mia don't know I started taping now, so all of this Mia's gonna probably cut out.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Parables from the Projects podcast. I am your co-host, Mia, aka Nene from Pink Houses.
And I am Gordy from Brownsville. Never ran, never will.
All right, and we welcome you to season 4. We're starting season 4 out big on the what?
On the what? W-O-8. 108 Radio New York. Yeah. We about to do our first radio show at 108 Soul in New York. That's right, baby. Y'all better tune into this.
The studio, where is it? Somewhere in the vicinity of Brooklyn, New York.
Soulful Cleaners, Ray DeJean. I don't know.
Little mic friend. So I'm testing that out. Let's see what it is. That's Mama Love. Her and him. You know what I'm saying? She on season 2, episode 1. Y'all listen to season 2, episode 1. All about Mama Love. She was on the podcast. She's here, gave us a ride. This is what she always do. You know what I'm saying? Supporting. You know, that's my hero, my shero right there. Pops in too. You know what I mean? Like, gotta give a salute. Mama Love. You got anything you want to tell the people? Keep your mask on. Okay. All right. I'm fresh out of Best Buy. But we're here where we're gonna do the recording. I believe it's on this end, so fresh. Cleaners. I like good audio because I want people to receive things the way that I would want to receive it. I want to hear. When you have, good things to say, when you want to inspire people, when you want to help people, when you want to share your story, why not share it if you have the capacity to?
Tell our people, Ray is like the heart of New York. Like right now, like for everybody to still be able to practice and still be able to explore their dreams. You had a lot of people come through, all of the big stars, Mike Epps, mad people. I can't even begin to give you his resume, but
so Gordy's kind of old, so he don't really. His memory is a little off. But I'm Ray DeJean. It's good to have you today. Mia's going to be on my radio show today. It's called 108 Soul, the Soul in New York. Just finished doing a radio station that was just sold called Radio 103.9 on FM. And the station was just sold. So this is another station that I'm on. We have about 250,000 listeners. All kinds of DJs, radio personalities on the station. I represent Brooklyn. I'm into old school hip hop and old school R&B from the show Video Music Box. I was the host for 25 years with DJ Ralph McDaniels. And then I created my own comedy circuit, which is called Laughaholics. That's my brand. Laughaholics, which is an addiction. So instead of getting addicted to oxycodone, you get addicted to laughter. That's my thing. Laughaholics is my brand. So on the radio show, we deal with music and we deal with topics, small businesses, and we have a comical way of dealing with it. We also get serious on an educational tip. So you'll see today. April Walker is going to be with us. She is she is the first urban hip hop clothing designer. She came out around the time when Anisha and Fubu and Carl Kanai, and so she's going to be with us today. She's legendary. There's a special with her on Netflix that's on currently, so you'll get to see her today as well. All right, so welcome to the show.
So we're still here, about to start in, a little bit. Papa Love is getting changed. I first put on a little makeup, and yeah, so we're excited, of course, to be here in the studio. And there he is.
What up, E? What's up, people?
So yeah, man, hope that you enjoy seasons 1, 2, and 3. And season 4
With Mia.
coming for more.
Why couldn't get no makeup?
Well, we got you. You're getting powdered up.
I don't need no makeup. Black don't crack.
You lying his ass off. Black does crack. Look.
Yo,
Look at that, right?
This is why I say, I know y'all gonna say the story's crazy, Gordy's crazy, but listen to this. Look where we at, though. I'm saying, God set you up with people in your line. You know what I'm saying? And like,
So you're trying to sound morally correct. I guarantee you, underneath this outfit, he has on a cat suit.
Why?
This what helps me get to the next level. You gotta think, man. It's like a bunch of comedians out there, but the top comedians, for some reason, I get to meet them. Then they know my old friends. If I try to write a script like, yo, I'll go to jail, come home, do a podcast, try to do comedy, I'ma send you some people out there that's gonna help you do comedy. Come on, man. It's about probably 75% of the new comedians probably don't get to meet a Ray Jean or to have Ray Jean have them, yo, come over here and do this. You know what I'm saying? You gotta really change. You can't say, I'ma stop crime, I'ma stop robbing people. Don't stop robbing people and expect good things to happen. You know what I'm saying? So that means you gotta stop. Like, if the cashier give you back 20 and you know you only gave her a 5, you gotta be like, oh, miss, you made a mistake. Cause it's the little girl behind the counter. You gotta think. Then she like, oh, sweat, they fired me because they think I stole her money in the. Then the black people got shot. Nah, but if y'all, this is our whole parables from the project. So everything is about. So these stories, when I get 85, write these, I'll be like a Mark, Matthew, Luke, John. All these stories are just biblical. It was just that people put the Bible in the air. It was some unrealistic thing. I'm about to show you some realistic stuff.
Very realistic.
But it's biblical. Like it's like parable. It's like it'll be like
the parable of the sower.
The parable of the sower. The parable.
So are
of
you making a comparison with stories in the projects that are close to parables in the Bible?
So we're not changing the words. We're just doing the same thing, but you gotta put yourself like we like Jesus is born. My whole thing is Jesus is from Brownsville, and I'm one of them. I'm one of the 12. I'm not. I mean, there's some followers of Jesus, but I'm one of the 12. One of the dudes. He said, "Yo, come with me." You know what I'm saying? And
so you're the dude that snitched.
I'm still with Jesus. I know Judas, but
yo, you that one.
But the beauty about the Judas. And the beauty about the Judas is this: that Jesus never said. Jesus let the nigga hang out. He let him hang out with him. Y'all don't even see that. So sometimes you can let a snake or one of them dudes hang out with you. It's just like the hood, man. You know your man is a snake, but he your man right now. You just waiting to cut him. You know you ain't gonna cut him right there. You gonna let him cut himself. And that's what Jesus did to Judas.
Three, 2, 1.
108 Soul, the soul of New York.
Right now, we have another special. This is like a dad-daughter business podcast, all kinds of things that they're doing in the community. This gentleman, actually, I don't know, he was in the projects in a place called Elmira Correctional Facility. He had a duplex condo. With a number attached to it. There was no address. There was only a number attached. And he wore this jumpsuit that it was like a cat suit, and his cellie had to zip him up from the back. No, I'm just kidding. There's a super podcast and a super movement. It's called Parables from the Projects Live, and we have the father and daughter here at the show. Tell us all about that. Who's gonna lead it off? Is it gonna be you, Gordy, or Mia?
I'm gonna let Mia go first, baby.
Hi, Mia.
Hello.
How are you? Happy to have you on the show.
No, happy to be here.
Tell us all about this. It's a podcast that you guys have, right?
That my father is obviously a big fan of. Yeah, it's a podcast.
Okay.
It's a podcast, but so the podcast did start, out of just our relationship. Of course, it's my dad, me, and my younger sister Janae. Shout out to Janae.
Janae, what up?
What I mean? So it was the three of us.
I love it.
Right now. But anyway.
I mean, we'll figure it out eventually. It's not something to hide.
Right. So we talked about our story for a while. And and we wanted to write a book, we wanted to do a movie, all this stuff. But I moved to LA 3 years ago, so because I wanted to help us to get more involved in entertainment. And I said, you know what, we working on the screenplay, it's hard to do, whatever. I know that you can talk. So I was like, where can you talk on a platform, on a podcast? You know what I mean? So I was like, let me just hear your stories. I'll interview you. You know what I mean? You could tell me these stories every week or whatever, and we could just put it out there. So that's
you
how we started.
Interviewing your dad.
Pretty much. He talks, I talk, we kind of go back and forth. And, he tells me about the old school, you know what I mean? And I tell a little bit
Tells you about the cocaine stories and the fingernail. And,
all of that.
And now he tried to become a pimp, but the chick slapped the shit out of him. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
But notice Ray said fingernail, y'all. I'm going to tell y'all.
It's a one fingernail. It's a pinky one, right?
Go ahead, Mia. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No. But yeah, that's so I said, let's start this podcast and so that we can, get the stories out there, kind of let it be chronological, let it stand somewhere. So yeah, so that's what we have now. 3 seasons in.
Nice.
Just shot.
And having a podcast is not easy.
No, yes.
I did it, and I couldn't take the stress.
It's so much.
It's so much work.
So Gordy, what's your role in all of this? How you feeling about this? This is almost like therapy for you, right, sir?
This is definitely therapy because oh my God, yeah, unbelievable. First of all, we got to give a shout out to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Uh-huh.
So. And I know people.
Can you also give a shout out to? It should be synonymous with Jesus and the red wine you was just drinking.
Red wine is truly blessed.
If you know the story, he gave the red. Now he gave the red.
That's a fact.
But anyway, but yo, nah. But for real, so man, coming home. I mean, being up north, right? And I didn't do a lot. I didn't do no 10, 15 years, but I just did, back and forth time in and out of Rikers Island. I've been to Spofford, been to group homes, stretcher group homes, stretcher Spofford. I didn't get to go to Gosha, but I went to, then started Rikers Island. Did a lot of in and out of time. So everywhere I went, I always noticed that somebody was speaking for me. It was a weird experience for me because I was really bad. I was a bad kid, I was stealing, I was doing all this stuff, and I was but it always was somebody there for me. So it was always somebody taking care of me. Even in my crime days, even when I went to jail, it was when I got there, it was somebody there to protect me. I couldn't fight. So I was 90 pounds when I was hustling, but I was Gordy from Brownsville. I was this big name dude.
So, all right, hold on. Yeah. So you was Gordy from Brownsville while you were incarcerated. But in the street, you're gorgeous Gordy.
No, also, let me tell you, the gorgeous part came from, it took me I was 23 when I started growing hair on my face.
Now, your daughter's gorgeous.
Me too.
But you.
I started growing face on hair.
Yo.
Go ahead.
And she looks just like him, but she's bad. It's crazy.
The whole thing is crazy, man. But me and my daughter, so all right, we gonna skip for a couple years. I'm gonna show it out to the parables, how we came up with the parables. So when I got out of jail, I started going to get the kids. I ain't mess with no older people. I ain't mess with none of my friends. I only mess with my friends' mothers. I only mess with my friends' kids. I used to take. If you go to pink houses or Brownsville, you say that's Gordy the Godfather, because I'm everybody's Godfather now. But because when I got up north, I didn't want my daughters to be in school going, yo, my dad is in a summer camp. I didn't want them to So I came home she was 6, you was 6, I think, and my other daughter was 3. And only stories they got now when they went to school is that, my dad is this guy who takes all the kids out in the projects. Everybody knows he was taking the kids out in the projects. So me and Mia used to meet at church, and she would be, I started bringing all the kids to church. And we used to be late. We didn't hear the service. It wasn't like we were spiritually inclined. It wasn't none of that stuff. I used just to get there.
But you showed up.
But I showed up. And I just want them to know, if you show up, that's even more than what what these people doing, throwing their hands in the air and falling out. You're doing more than what they doing because you ain't had you wasn't had resources, whatever. Nobody was even thinking about church in the hood. And I didn't know nothing about no church. I was robbing and stealing. So the podcast came about. So we kept saying we're gonna, even when Mia was up, Mia's 36. I don't shouldn't mean to say that on air. But but when she was 12,
the other one pregnant, this one 36. What else?
When she was younger, we used to meet, and you know, it was like God had sent us together. Like Mia be on a corner somewhere and she'd be waiting for a bus and I'll pull up and I'll be like, what you doing over here? And you know, we got our own thing. And the stories just was crazy, but we've been trying to write the stories a long time and we just didn't have the time to write
So let me stop you for a second. We got about 5 more minutes. I want to make sure we get it all in.
Right.
So you take your experiences and you take her experiences, and are you the lead in the show, or?
Well, we both co-hosts. So I always say that he went from Rikers Island to righteousness, and I went from the hood to Harvard. So that's basically like
you did go to Harvard.
Yeah.
So I wanted to get to that. So
you should be so
tell
proud.
me.
Yeah, let her talk, because I'll be here all.
Yeah, because you know that at least that drug money did some good. No, go ahead. Tell us about your educational background. I really want to get all of this in. We got 5 more minutes left. Go ahead.
Yeah, no problem. So
Talk us to the mic, babe.
Oh, no problem. So basically, like, you know, I was very much inspired by my mom, you know, worked hard. My dad took all the kids out, right? And so, you know, he always said, you know, I want you kids to be the new breed. So I always had a passion for education. We was in church, me and my dad was in church, and the year before I graduated college, we heard my pastor talking about a scholarship, but you had to be applying to only an Ivy League school. It only was going to people, Christians that were applying to Ivy League schools. So after church, me and my dad laughed, ha, what if you went to like Harvard, Yale or something like that, and you just grew up in pink houses, you know what I mean? Like, because that's where I'm from. It was like, yo, that would be crazy. But then like, I started looking at the schools. I looked at Harvard last because I was like, it would be the hardest to get into and the most expensive. But, you know, I just prayed about it and I felt like God was telling me you should go. So either way, you know, long story short, went there, graduated, and, you know, have been working in sports for 10 years, writer, journalist, working with Steve Harvey now, producing like educational content online for him through Vault Empowers. And now I'm also have Brown Girls Glow, where I tell other kids from the hood, like I have a high school program where I'm teaching them, you know, what we learned in the hood, the lessons that we learned, and how to apply them to life.
Now that's the sugar-coated part.
So now, Gordy, right. Let's talk about your education background. So you have a GED that's under investigation. I
actually have 2 GEDs, so I'm a double GED. I went on the.
So you're the guy that Trump was talking about that voted twice.
Nah. I went on state under my name and then on the alias. I took the GED twice, passed them both, got 263, 253, both of them. But look.
What's the information for the podcast? I don't want to.
It's parablesfromtheprojects.com.
And you can find Parables from the Projects on anywhere you listen to podcasts, Apple, iTunes, Spotify.
That's what's up.
This is awesome. What an amazing story from both of y'all.
That's great.
It's crazy, man.
So now she pays father support because she
Right.
What's up, everybody? We thank you so much for tuning in to episode 1 of season 4. Man, thank you to Ray DeJean and 108 Soul of New York for having us on the show. Man, make sure you check out parablesfromtheprojects.com. Follow us. I'm at Mia_Hall19.
I'm Gorgeous Gordy 9, and I'm Gord Keelan.
Yes.
Follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram. I just started a Twitter account, so look at my tweets. I'm telling you, they deep. They too deep.
Yep. Follow Project Parables on Twitter. Follow Keep the Shape You on Twitter. And listen, share this with a friend. You know what I mean? If you like the content, you know, leave us a review on iTunes, all that good stuff. All right. So we'll hit you and we'll see you on episode 2, man. But until then, know that it's all good in the hood.
Peace.